Welcome back, my duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. Happy Monday. Let's start the week off right. And like I said yesterday, we got another non Yu Gi Oh deck profile. So, what do we got? Well, you guys already clicked on this because you saw some old Pokemon cards. And you're right. So, what this is this was era built for the time period where the Team Rocket booster set had released, and this introduced like the dark Pokemon. They generally had like higher attacks, a little less on the health. Um, and once you started evolving past like stage one, you actually needed to have like the dark family. So like, let's use everybody's favorite old school character, and let's say Charizard. You could use any Charmander to go into Dark Charmeleon, but you had to use the Dark Charmeleon card in order to play into the Dark Charizard. That's really the only thing else that you need to know. This is still pre-supporters. So again, you could just play any trainers you wanted, all in the same turn. Again, 6 prizes off to the side, 7 cards starting hand, 1 character in the active, up to 5 on the bench behind, and then just turn base, play your energies and do what you wish. So let's get you guys a deck profile from the past. So this one I've actually named it my you guys can see my deck box, Classic Team Rocket, because to me Team Rocket is essentially Jesse and James. If you guys have ever watched the TV series, you know what I'm talking about. So I wanted to build this as close to something that they would have had as possible. So real quick, we're going to use 4 copies, full playset of the Team Rocket set Ekans, 50 hit points, 2 attacks, Bite on 10, Poison Sting for 20, Poison Sting, 50% chance to actually inflict poison, double weak to Psychic, single cost retreat, and again, we're going to play a mono green build, so I don't need to say colorless or anything. I'm just going to tell you how much energy it would cost, or the character has to have in order to do it. Next up, since we do love Jesse so much, 3 copies of the Dark Arbok. And again, got lucky in the past. When I picked up a collection, we got 3 of these that were all foil. And some small Yu-Gi-Oh! Like paragraphs. So let's get into those. First attack on 2 is Stare. Choose one opponent's monster. This attack does 10 damage to it without weakness and resistance applied. Any other effects that would happen still happen. If the Pokemon has a power, that stops working until the end of the opponent's next turn. So, Pokemon powers were like these continuous effects, like the original Blastoise. One of my favorite. The original Blastoise said you could play as many water energy in a turn as you wanted. And the original base set Charizard said any energy attached to it is considered fire energy. So those effects would just stop working for a turn. Second attack, Poison Vapor, does base 10 on 3. The defending Pokemon is now poisoned. This attack does 10 damage to each of the opponent's benched Pokemon. Weakness and resistance not applied for the monsters on the bench. So again, this is a guarantee on the poison, which is fantastic, especially for the time period. And again, guys, it just looks amazing. They did do a little bit. It's almost like a regional art. They don't say it on here, but in some of the Pokedex entries in the video games, they do say that Arbok's patterns would change slightly from area to area. So again, this looks pretty sick, being the dark variant. Next character up, we got to represent James now. So we got to use 4 copies of, again, the Team Rocket Coughing. Tackle on 10 for 1, and Poison Gas for 20 on 2. You'll notice it's basically the same layout as the Ekans. And again, 50% chance for the poison on the Poison Gas. 10 less hit points. This one starts on 40. But again, single retreat cost, and again, double weak to Psychic. And then, of course, we've got to run the triple Dark Wheezing. I'm flexing these real quick over here. None of these ones are foil, it looks like. I remember. No? Okay. They are foil. The sleeve just takes it away. This one is just so slight. It's not even really showing up on the camera. Trust me that they're foil. Or don't. It's whatever. They're old trading cards. Who cares? Dark Wheezing, 60 hit points. So again, not a huge jump. Only like 20 hit points, right? Mass Explosion on 2 does 20x, which is 20 times the number of coughing, wheezing, and dark wheezing in play. This will be benches and active. And again, it doesn't say your copies. So again, if your opponent has them, those are going to count too. Apply weakness and resistance. This attack then does 20 damage to each coughing, wheezing, and or dark wheezing. Even our own. Do not apply weakness or resistance. So again, if the opponent can resist this attack, great. But to the wheezings, the coughings, it's not going to, because it's going to be considered like a group gang up attack. And then Stun Gas on 20, does 20 on 3. Flip Coin if heads poison, if tails paralyze. So no matter what, again, we are going to get an effect. So that is fantastic. Now again, the rest is just sort of basic stuff. I thought how cool would it be if they just kept using grass Pokemon rather than getting a Meowth. So I wanted to have 4 copies of the Team Rocket Oddish. On 1 energy, you can either put the Pokemon asleep or poison, your choice. It is guaranteed. You do have a weakness to fire. You start at 50 hit points. Next Pokemon will be Dark Gloom. We're going to run the 4-3-2 up this family. So we do have the 3 copies of this. And what you're going to notice, no change in hit points. 50 on both. And what we're going to do, Poison Powder will do 10 on 2 with a guaranteed poison. And our Stench ability says once per turn before the attack, we can choose to flip coin if heads. Defending Pokemon is now confused if tails. Our active is now confused. This power cannot be used if this character is already asleep, confused, or paralyzed. So again, it is a chance to try to mess with the opponent. However, we could just go ahead and poison them. No need to go too hard. It is what it is. And then Dark Vileplume. And again, we got a foil and a non-foil. So we're gonna handle this one because it looks cooler. The Pokemon Power Hay Fever. No trainer cards can be played. This stops working while this character is asleep, confused, or paralyzed. And again, this is going to be for both players. So try to get all your effects out before you do this. Note the hit points. We do get 10 hit points finally. The Petal Whirlwind is a 30 times. Flip the 3 coins. It is 30 times heads. And if you get 2 or more heads, this character then confuses itself, which will, of course, invalidate the Hay Fever ability. So again, really cool stuff. And then the only non-Team Rocket character that we're actually using, we're going to be using the second base. And this is the Tangela. I want to say this is also in the original base set. And again, this one's just really cool. It does bind and it does poison powder on 2 and 3 respectively. Both do 20. The bind has a 50% chance for paralysis. The poison powder is 100% poison. So again, I thought this was a great way to make like a poison Team Rocket deck, and a great way to like influence it based off of Jesse and James monsters. Moving into our trainer cards, we're going to keep things basic. 2 copies Gust of Wind allows us to swap out our opponent's Pokemon with one of their bench monsters. A couple potions to go ahead and heal for 20 points on one of our own cards. 3 copies of the Boss's Way. Search our deck for an evolution with Dark in the name. Show it to the opponent, add it to our hand shuffle. And then, of course, 3 copies of Bill. Simply just a draw 2. And then after that, it's a little weird. Feels a little heavy-handed. But I had this built with 23 energies. But you guys got to remember, this is the way that I used to play. So I didn't really change anything in here. What I would change for the people that are curious about this, let me just alphabetize this real quick because it bothers me when it is not. Things I would change, since this is based in that time period, since again this is 23. I would take it down to 20. Those could be like 3 Professor Oaks. If you had Pokemon Breeder, we could actually skip from the Oddish straight to the Vileplume if you wanted. You don't have to do this. There was also a, I want to say it was like Pokemon Search. It was another trainer that we could have used in these 3 zones to drop our energy down to 17. And what it allowed you to do is like discard a card to add 1 card from your deck to your hand. And again, that would be very good. You guys could use, I think Pokeball was something that we used for the 3 corners. Plus power would be fine. We could use switches in here. Really, my goal would be to have added more trainers. And I'm going to tell you what, if I do come across more trainer cards from the past in my journeys, this is one of the few that I will continue to modify along the way. So guys, I do hope that you enjoyed this. We're going to have some Master Duel stuff coming up here afterward. And again, we're just going to keep rolling through. We're going to keep giving you some of these every week. And guys, if you're looking to support the channel, there's a few easy steps that you guys could take real quick. It doesn't cost you anything but a few moments of your time. If you guys give us a thumbs up and a comment, it helps the algorithm. It helps other players and duelists and enthusiasts find this channel so that we can all have fun together and just sort of build this up. Additionally, maybe you haven't subscribed yet. That's another quick click. You can always click the notification bell. This way you guys keep in the loop, get a little notification whenever I upload, which again is generally every day. And again, the timing for that is usually 11 in the morning Eastern time. A lot of things are pre-filmed the night or the day before. This way everything is as timely as can be. And again, I do that for your convenience, not mine. I do like that you guys can rely on certain amounts of this content and media being produced and released. Again, we double up on the Mondays and the Sundays, just as a little something extra. And again, in the future, we may expand every other day into multiple things as needed or as I can do it. But you do those things, it helps the channel. It helps me get out there, gets me growing more. But even if you can't or don't want to, or maybe you've already done all those things, there is one other favor you could do for me. And that is simply to go out there and try to have a great day. That means a lot to me too. I hope that you guys all have a wonderful day. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Got to get you guys some more content. So I hope to see you guys later. Peace out, my friends.